Today I'm going to go over the study guide for 4.1 and 4.2. This is dealing with decimals, fractions, and percents. So I have the study guide in front of me, but I'm going to solve it on paper so that you can see it better. So number one tells you to write 132% as a fraction, and then it says in simplest form. Remember 132%, so it's always out of 100. So that equals 132 over 100. Now you have an improper fraction, and you know that it is okay to have a numerator higher than 100 because you might have more than 100. So this is equivalent to, if you think about it, if I have 132, how many times can I give you 100? So 100 times what is the closest to 132 without going over? And that's only one time. So if you gave me 100, you would have 32 left over out of that 100. Now that it says simplest form, 32 and 100. So you want to find the greatest common factor, the largest number that both of these go into. And when it's an even, you can divide in half, divide by 2, and then divide by 2 again as many times as you need to if you don't know how to do it the other way. But I'm going to use 4 because both of these divide by 4 easily. And 32 divided by 4 is 8. 100 divided by 4 is 25. Don't forget your 1. So 132% in simplest form is going to be 1 and 8 over 25. That would be your final answer. The next one is write 11/20th as a percent. So writing 11 over 20 as a percent. Well, we know that percents are always going to be out of 100. So remember, is over of equals percent out of 100. So it's is over of equals percent out of 100. So you set up the problem like that. What is 11 out of 20? What percent is that? So from getting from 20 to 100, I know I'm multiplying by 5. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. That gives me 55 out of 100. And so 55 out of 100 is equivalent to 55%. That would be your final answer. Now let's look at number 3. Write 9% as a decimal. So 9% as a decimal. So the easiest way to remember this, yes, you could, we talked about multiplying and dividing by 100 to figure it out, or this is the same as 9 over 100. But if I want to write it as a decimal, remember I said there's some rules that makes it a lot easier. And instead of multiplying and dividing by 100, we can just take the decimal and move it 2 places, either to the left or to the right to get our answer. So when you have a percent, the first thing you want to do is remove the percent, then place your decimal point, which is always at the end. And since we are going by hundreds, you move it 1, 2 places. So now you're placing your decimal here. So now that the decimal is here, we're going to fill in our zeros for everything that we did not have. So 9% equals 0.09. Yes, it is important to put that 0 there because it is a placeholder. So this is the hundredths place, so this is the same as 9 over 100. 9 hundredths. And that's why the decimal goes over here. Now let's look at the next one. Write 56 as a percent, 0.56. So 0.56 is really easy. And I know some of you know, using mental math, that this is going to be 56%. You are correct. It is going to be 56 because it's 56 hundredths, which is the same as saying 56 over 100. But to show your work, you can easily just show me that you took that decimal and you multiplied by 100 and you moved it over 2 times, and then this decimal becomes now a percent. So that's all you would need is to show your work. The next one says, on a scavenger hunt, you found 10 out of 50. So 10 out of 50 objects. Write it as a fraction, a decimal, and a percent. So you have 10 out of 50. So that is a fraction. It does not say in simplest form, so it's okay if it's not in simplest form. I'm always going to want you to use good math practice and simplify, but this is okay. This is also equivalent to, remember, is over of equals percent over 100. Well, if I want to know what this number is, I'm thinking I multiplied by 2 to get to here, from 50 to 100. We're always going to try to go out of 100. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 10 times 2 is 20. Well, there's my fraction. I can do 20 over 100. Once I do it out of 100, I know that this is equivalent to 20%. Once I know what my decimal is, I know that I can change my decimal into, percent into a decimal. So I'm going to get rid of my percent sign, place my decimal point, move it over 2 places, and place my 0. So that equals 0.20. So as a fraction, 10 over 50, in simplest form, it's actually 1/5. As a percent, it's 20%. And as a decimal, it is 0.20. Our next problem talks about an online store that has 300 customers who make purchases during the sale. 39 use a coupon. What percent of the customer uses a coupon? So because it says what percent, make sure that your answer is in percent form. That's the first thing. So you have a total, your whole is 300. 300 customers, that's your whole. Your part is 39. So 39 customers out of 300 use the coupon. So they want to know the percent. Remember, is over of equals percent over 100. Well, again, I'm going to use my clues to see how did they get from 300 to 100, and that's dividing by 3. 300 divided by 3 is 100. What you do to the bottom, you do to the top. 39 divided by 3 is 13. So these are equivalent fractions. Once you have your fraction out of 100, it is very easy to answer the percent. So 13% use the coupon. The next problem is 12 is what percent of 16? Well, 12 is what percent of 16? 12 is over of 16, and they want to know what percent. So to find a percent, you have to place it over 100. Now, 16 is not really an easy number to get to. You could divide 100 by 16, and you're going to get a long decimal, and you can solve it that way. But we also know we can simplify fractions. And when we simplify them, they're equivalent. So I know if I simplify this, I can divide both of them by 4. I'm going to get 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. 3/4 is equivalent to 12 over 16. They equal the same thing. But 4 is a lot easier number to reach 100. Because I know 4 times 25 is 100. So what I do to the bottom, I'm going to do to the top and multiply by 25 also. So now it's like as if this 12 over 16 doesn't exist anymore. We're just going to try to get from 3/4 to 100. Well, 3 times 25 is 75. That's a lot easier number to work with. Once I have my fraction over 100, that is easy to say it is 75%. The other way that you can do this, if this is kind of how we did ratios, ratio tables, and equivalent ratios. The other way is just simply take your fraction and divide. So you're going to go 16 into 12. And you can do that too. If long division is your thing, you'll still get the same answer. So 16 goes into 12. Well, 16 can't go into 12. I usually like to put an X or a 0, but I know I could put a decimal here and add a 0 to it. Now it's as if we're saying 16 into 120. 16 goes into 120 7 times. And that equals 16 times 7 is 112. When I subtract, I get 8. When you're dividing with decimals, you can always add a 0. You just keep adding zeros until you either get a repeating decimal or you've solved your answer. So if I bring this 0 down, 16 goes into 85 times, and that equals 80, and that's 0. So my answer would be 0.75. Well, the question asked me what is it as a decimal. As a percent. So we know 0.75 is 75%. So two different ways to solve this problem. You see what works best for you. Number 8 is, seems, some of you guys thought it was difficult, but if you really think about what we learned about our percent times a whole equals part, and part divided by percent equals whole, some of our formulas that we used. It says the winning candidate in an election receives 0.72 of the votes. When you see the word of, that means multiply, okay? And then part A says there are 1,000 voters. How many votes does the winning candidate receive? So 1,000 of the votes out of 1,000. So out of 1,000. Okay. A couple ways you can approach this problem. Now, 0.72, I can change this into a percent and make it out of 100. So 72, this would be 72% out of 100, right? Turning into a fraction. Well, the votes were a total of 1,000. So if I put my 1,000 here, then I can say, oh, well, I know that they multiplied by 10 here, so I'm going to multiply by 10 here, and that gives me 720. So that works. There was a total of 720 votes. The other way you can do this, if you know that you're multiplying your 0.72 times the 1,000, because you have the part and the whole, and basically you could do a full multiplication problem, but we know that we have 3 places, 3 placeholders. So if I have 3 placeholders here that I can get rid of, I can also move the decimal 3 places, 1, 2, and 3. And so 0.72, moving it 3 times and placing it at the end, is also 720. So a few ways that you can look at this. We did go over all these today. If you have any questions, you can send me a remind or just leave me a comment on the bottom of the channel. Good luck.